So we're back for episode 12? TB12, episode 12?
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
This is going to be your episode, huh?
Hey, I will do this later. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to show you who I'm picking. So we're back for episode 12, which is, the season is progressing. It seems like it's gone really fast, but really slow at the same time.
Yeah, no, it's been like Wednesday games, Tuesday
yeah, exactly.
games.
It's like, boom, it's week 12, or it's actually week 13 in the NFL world, but this is our 12th episode.
Yep.
Seems like it's gone really fast, but at the same time, I'm like, man, this season with the COVID and all this stuff that's going on, it definitely feels like a strange, slow, fast season. I want to dive into the Patriots. Yeah. I want to just jump right into it because they come up with a huge victory on the road.
Big victory.
45-0 against the LA Chargers, who I think they were actually underdogs in this game, right?
Yeah.
They were underdogs.
Yeah, because they're out in LA.
So the Chargers have – hold on. Brody, please don't eat that cord. Thank you so much, sir. You might have to make sure he doesn't get electrocuted. But, yeah, we'll get right back into it. Grab him that bone. Did I throw that bone right there? Is there a bone anywhere? Oh, it's right there. He likes that thing right there. Tastes good to him.
There you go.
So they go to L.A. They beat up the Chargers. They don't even score a point. The Chargers don't score a point.
That was an absolute beating.
There was an absolute smackdown. So they go to L.A., beat up on the Chargers, stay in L.A. They play tomorrow. They play Thursday
night against
the Rams, who are a good football team.
They actually may be the best team in the NFC.
What was your number one takeaway from this game?
The defense. The pass rush. I mean, that's what they were lacking all season, and now they seem to be getting. How
do you just get to the quarterback like that when you haven't all year?
Part of it's health, though, too. I mean, they've got some of the guys are getting healthy again. Adam Butler wasn't really healthy for a while. He had a big game the previous week, had a big game against the Chargers again. For pretty much all season, you just had Lawrence Guy as your only defensive lineman. You got, the guy, you got your boy wearing your number.
Winnow with the non-coverage interception. I loved it. I loved the interception.
Yeah,
it was great. It was great.
He's playing better, though. I mean,
he's playing better. He's playing better.
Uche's come aboard now.
I still think that their biggest test is going to be a running football team.
Yeah, 100%.
Because they've been playing teams that, you're like, well, why?
But the thing is, they don't really have another running team they play.
They really don't. I mean, the Bills are going to run the football. The Bills
with
Singletary.
The Bills,
they're going to run the football because they're complementary with the play-action pass, but they're going to want to throw the ball.
But they're not like a running team.
No,
the last running team they played was the Ravens.
Yes. But the Ravens, I think the Ravens this year are kind of overhyped with from last year. Everyone thought that they'd be a certain thing. And this year, obviously, watching the game last night against the Cowboys, that was a terrible game. It was sloppy all the way around. Yeah. The Cowboys stink.
The Cowboys have no run defense.
No, nothing. And the Ravens, I feel like the Ravens, they're flying way too high on last year's success, and they really haven't changed much. We're starting out with a Belgium Stella. I like Stella. Stella's a good beer. It's very light. It's imported.
Yeah.
What is okay? Yeah, I don't want to even say that because people make fun of me. 1366? No way. That can't be. Really?
It's one of the oldest beers.
Oh my goodness.
It's an ale.
It's very good. It has a distinct smell to it. Kind of like it kind of tastes like
smells like a Jeep Grand Cherokee that I
have. Like a certain plant that maybe people might smoke. It has that smell to it, kind of like Heineken. Heineken has that smell. When you pop the top, you're like, "Whoa, what's that? Illegal substance?" And then it's not. It's just the alcohol. So
it's Europe.
Anyway, it is here. It's
Belgium,
Europe. It's Belgium. It's Belgium.
That area. But back to I think we're going to go back to the Patriots, or wait.
No, I was going to say, speaking of European, I had I'll tell you a quick story. I was flying to Africa, so I was doing this all on my own. I was getting there a day before everybody else was getting there. So I had a one-night stay in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It was really cool.
Were you by yourself?
Yeah. I was all by myself. I had no idea. I got into the airport.
Was it like a scene out of Euro Trip?
KLM. I flew KLM, And I tell you, every single flight attendant was like blonde, blue, beautiful, 5'10", and they all lived in Amsterdam. So it was a great time. So I get down to Amsterdam. I didn't have a hotel, didn't have anything booked. I walked forever. It felt like forever because it had like this walk-tran thing, like a big walkway.
What, the airport or?
Yeah, in the airport. The airport's massive. So you get into the airport, and they had a hotel. They had a couple hotels that were in the airport. But I didn't really realize that when you walk there, you basically needed to take a car or a taxi or something. But I walked. I was just like, all right, I'll just take my stuff and walk. Walk took forever. So I go to the hotel. I think it was a Hilton in the airport. Give them my credit card. I'm like, do you have anything available? Like, yes, we only have one king size luxury suite. It will be like $850. I say $850. All right, I guess that's my only shot. So I'm like, all right, I'll buy it. So I get the room. I'm there early. So I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna go and experience what Amsterdam is all about.
Yeah.
So I take a taxi down into Amsterdam. I didn't go to the red light district. Okay, I didn't do that.
You didn't pull a Euro trip?
Didn't do the Euro trip. Didn't do the Euro trip.
Was the safe word? Was it like Wunderschlussen?
But I did walk down into the city area, and everyone's like flying past you on bicycles. There's really no cars. The architecture is really cool.
Like the roads are like narrow.
Yeah, it's really like a neat place. And they have all these like smoke shops because you know that the marijuana there is like legal, and everyone just does the smoke shop. So they call it a coffee shop. You go to the coffee shop. So I'm not going to say if I did or didn't go into the coffee shop and experience the coffee shop, but I sat down at the coffee shop. I'm sitting at this table, and I guess when you're in Amsterdam, everyone just shares everything. Like you literally like bikes are there, and like people ride bikes.
Like you're eating your food, people just come up and grab it.
No, like you eat your food. You sit down at your table. In America, you sit down at a table.
Yeah.
In the United States, you sit down at the table. It's almost like, your claim of property. Like, this is my table until I get up. And other people don't, like, just sit down with you. I wasn't used to that.
You sit down like a 4-person table, and all of a sudden there's 3 other people there.
Yeah, no. So I'm sitting at this table, and I'm telling you, probably one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life sat down right there. I'm like, all right, yeah, you can sit down. I mean, there's a lot of room here. No problem. It's a coffee shop. We can hang out. And it was her brother. He sat down next to her, and then another girl sat down with a hat on. And we just started talking. I asked her where you're from. She was from Turkey. They're visiting. Asked me where I was going, where I was from. Had small talk, and she was like, "Yeah, me and my twin sister." Like, we come here often, and we'll like go to the coffee shops and we'll have fun. And I said, "You have a twin sister?" In my head, I'm like, "Jeez, twin sister? That's ridiculous." She's like, "Yeah, she's right here with the hat on." She said, "Yeah." She took her hat off, identical. I was like, "How is that possible? How is that possible?" But anyway, they went on their way. I went on my way. It was a great trip. I had fun. It was a great experience. They have like all these little shops, bread shops, and it's a really cool place. If you ever have a chance to get there.
Were you there for a couple hours?
No, I was there full day.
Oh, whole day?
Yeah, so I went down there early. My dog's chewing on a plastic bottle right now. That might be a little distracting. Bro.
You should have named him Winnow.
Brody. He'll figure out. He's going to crash.
He's going to crash soon?
He's going to crash soon.
Yeah, he always does.
But anyway, it's a great spot. It was a cool experience. KLM Airlines is a really nice airline. And then from there, I went to Africa, which don't fly Africa Air. It's a little scary.
From Amsterdam?
Yeah, from Amsterdam, I went to Tanzania. In Tanzania, when you land, like I was like, "Hey, where's the bathroom?" They're like, "Oh, it's there." I was like, "Okay." I walk in. There's just a hole in the ground.
Yeah. You've never been to like third world countries?
No. And then I get on a bus, and the bus is like a big, massive, like they look different. They look different. But there's only 2-lane highways. There's no like big, massive interstates. And when somebody's in front of you, they pass on the like off-road side.
Yeah.
And they pass the people, and then they come back. So like sometimes there's points where there's a car passing, so the guy goes on the oncoming traffic side.
Yeah, that's most like third.
And there's a car coming, doing about 80, and Is Brody messing you up? Brody's messing everybody up. We might have to throw him in that room if he's being bad. He's just he's in a mood right now. But anyway, it was fun and scary all at the same time. Climbing to the top, got to the top, yada yada yada. You know that.
My wife
that story.
So we went to Peru. I think I was like 19. She was 18. Her family's from Peru, and my wife's kind of like germaphobe a little bit. And I'll never forget, like, we're up in the mountains in Peru, and Peru itself is a third world country, and then you go up the mountains, and I mean, it's like a fifth world country.
Yeah.
And I never forget to look at she had to go to the bathroom, and then she came out, and she looked horrified. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, there was just footprints and then a hole. And that's where you had to go to the bathroom. I'm like, yeah, you're in a third world country. But the whole thing with cars, so like we're going up a mountain in Cusco, and we're in this big bus.
Yeah, the buses are insane
and
because they like load the tops up, and you're like, "Is this thing gonna flip?"
Yeah, and these roads are probably the width of this poker table.
Yes,
and they just keep whipping around, and every time they take the turn, you see all these crosses and everything. And, and I finally said to them, "I'm like, hey, what's up with all these crosses?" They're like, "Well, those were buses went over the edge," and I'm like, "Holy shit." That ride maybe only took like 30 minutes, but I think it was like 5 hours.
And you are like, you ask, hey, where's the nearest hospital where they have, used needles and they don't really have the best care? And, about 6 hours. You're okay, well, if anything happens, I'm dead.
I'm talking about hospitals. So when we took our kids to Peru last year, and we tell them up front, we tell our kids up front, like, listen, you don't drink water here, all that, because we're up in the mountains. Don't drink water. Just be careful. Don't lick your fingers. Don't do anything. And my oldest daughter we're on a train, and I'm not really paying attention. She's sitting in front of me. We're on the train going to Cusco, and she's eating M&Ms, and like I'm not paying attention. And then like my wife like elbows me, and I'm like, what? I look over, and my daughter's licking her fingers after eating the M&Ms, and I'm like, oh, this can't be good. Throwing up for hours, and we have to go to a hospital in Arequipa, Peru.
Arequipa, Peru.
Yeah, and it's just like a little area with a bed, Brody, and there's a doctor.
Brody, hold on. Time out. Brody, stop. Come on, that's enough. You're gonna get a license to do that. Plastic. Eat that. Good for you.
You're pulling a Belichick there.
You're out.
Yeah, you're pulling a Belichick.
All right. So what was the hospital like?
Oh, it was sketchy. So it was probably, she was in the hospital in Arequipa for maybe about a day and a half.
A day and a half?
But she was, like, if she drank water, it came right up. It was so bad because she had a bacterial infection.
Yeah.
So we finally decided, we're like, okay, we're going to hop a flight because you can't drive back to Lima, the capital, because if you drove back, it's through the mountains. It takes you like 5 days to drive through. Yeah. So we flew back to Lima, and she was okay. She made the flight. And then we went to the hospital in Lima, which is a major city. And they basically said the same thing. They're like, here, we're going to give her some antibiotics, stuff like that. She should be fine. It'll take maybe a few days. And my wife's freaking out because we're supposed to fly back to the U.S. like the next day. And she's like, it's a 12-hour flight or 8-hour flight. How is she going to make it and all that? And I'm like, well, we'll see if we can switch it. So we call the airline, like, hey, can we switch our tickets, like, a couple days? Like, yeah, you can. It's like $25,000. And we're like, what? So long story short, we got a wheelchair. I carried her the whole way through airports, through security, through everything, and she ended up being okay, obviously. Yeah. But, being all the way up there, I mean.
Not good.
No, not good. Not good at all. It was
got a helpless feeling when you're in like a country. You're not. There's something about being outside of the United States of America. When you're outside of the U.S., you feel a little bit helpless.
Yeah.
You feel helpless. And when I was in Africa, I kept thinking to myself, like, if anything happens to me, like, you're screwed. You're so screwed.
Yeah.
You're so done. Black mamba, you get bit, you're dead.
Yeah.
The guy's like, yeah, you're dead. You're dead. Sorry, you're dead. I'm like, oh, great. I'm dead.
Yeah, they're not going to put you on your back and go.
We're going down the street, and there's, like, literally, I'm talking, like, where you would put a landfill, like where you would have a landfill, it was right next to the street. Yeah. And then you just drive past it and just throw your garbage. Like, just throw your garbage. I'm like, so you throw your garbage. And then, on top of that, they burn all the plastic.
Yeah.
So they have these big mounds of plastic. There's a guy there with a thing just churning them, just inhaling all that. I'm like, okay. Isn't that bad for you? Is that bad for you to inhale plastic? But, yeah, I mean, it was an experience.
Yeah, the harrowing thing for us with it is my wife's family's from Peru. Like, her parents were born there, raised there, lived their whole lives pretty much, and then moved to the U.S., so I could see a look on their face when we were going to the hospital in, like, the middle of nowhere in the mountains, and they were like, I'm like, oh, that's not good.
No, it's not good.
Like, well, but luckily, she had a great doctor. The doctor there was actually pretty, really nice guy. I mean, it's a little town, but it ended up working out okay, and she ended up being okay.
The reason that we go is for water boys. They do a great job.
You can climb like Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, you climb Kilimanjaro, but you bring, there's a lot of these communities and schools that don't have clean water. They have a cesspool, and they drink this water. All the people have way too much fluoride, so their bones and their teeth are like brown. Their bones are brittle. It's like really bad.
It's not clean water.
It's not clean water. So, I mean, it
puts things in perspective.
It definitely does. It definitely does. We went out to like a tribe, and they were like going to cook for us. And the guy, was cooking with his hands. He broke out this, rusty knife and, started slicing up a lamb. I'm like, I'm good. I think he, scooped up the rice with his hands and, put it in the bowl. And I'm like, really full for breakfast. Had a real big breakfast. They had these crates of Coca-Colas. And I was like, I wonder when those are from, those Coca-Colas. They look like they're from,
World War
96. I'm like, I'm good. I got to drink water. I'm really dehydrated. I ate a lot. I'm good.
Yeah.
I didn't want to offend anybody, but it's just my biggest fear was having to, brushing your teeth. You got to use bottled water.
Yeah.
In the shower, they said, keep your mouth closed. I'm like, geez, okay.
No, that's
okay. The mosquitoes can kill you.
Yeah, that's
malaria. I had more vaccinations to go to Africa than any other time in my life.
Because you got to go get a ton of.
Yeah,
shots,
you got to get typhoid. You got to get a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, that you're not used.
Yeah.
That people take it for granted, not knowing these third world countries and all that stuff, and what these people have to do. Up in the mountains of Peru, and you have 6-year-old kids that are working. They're helping with different things and all that, and they're not going to school. They're literally working to help support their families and everything.
Well, the Sherpa, the guys that help us out up the mountain.
Yeah,
I had this guy with me. I mean, he was 19 years old. He had 4 kids, and they make $1 a day.
Yeah,
they make no money. So the guide was like, whatever you do not give them money. Do not give them money. I'm like, why? He's like, well, whatever you think is good money is millionaire to them. So if you gave them $100, they'd have to work 100 days to make that.
Yeah.
So it almost, I didn't care. I said when the kid helped me down because I was exhausted and I had altitude sickness, I felt like I was dying.
Did he put you on his shoulders?
No, I ran down. I gave him my backpack. He took the backpack. He was cool. He was cruising with me. The dude was insane. He probably run the Boston Marathon in record-setting time because he was in such good shape, and the altitude stuff didn't affect him. So when I got to the bottom, I had this little plastic, I guess it was a weatherproof, waterproof, and I had my passport and everything in there because you're supposed to keep everything close to your person. So I opened it up. I had $300 in there. I gave him $100. I said, "Don't tell anybody I gave you this."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh my god!" Yeah, he's super happy I gave him that money, but I didn't care. I was like, dude, this guy is a beast. I'm going to try and help him out as much as I can. If he's making $1 a day, I feel like that's just not right.
Yeah, when we went to the mountains of Peru, they have Incas, they're Indians there, and they help you go up the mountains and all that. And my wife booked this thing where it's my daughter loves llamas, so it was hike with llamas, and you go up and all that. And she's like, I did the easy one, and I'm like, all right, cool. It must be walking up a hill. There's nothing easy about it. It was a mountain.
Yeah.
And these guys are our sons are younger. They were 6 and 5 or 5 and 4, and they throw them on their back and they start going and everything.
It's wild.
Yeah, I thought they were going to throw me on their back at one point. But I mean, it's that stuff's crazy. And you're right, they don't make any money. I mean, it's $1 a day, and that's what it is. And these guys hike 5-10 miles.
It makes you realize how good we have it here.
Yeah.
How great everything is in the United States. You have easy access to healthcare, medical, water,
yeah.
clean water.
Yeah.
You can go turn your water on. I was walking in some of these places and they had dirt floors, and the roofs were made of like straw. I'm like, this is like absolutely crazy. But yeah, so let's move on and back into football. We kind of had a tangent there, but it's fun. That's life.
So what do you think about Cameron Newton?
Cam Newton. Yeah. What do I think? I think he's a heck of a runner and can't throw the football. But, I mean, he regressed in passing. He had 80-something, and now he had 60-something.
They didn't have to throw the ball, though.
I think the last time –
Didn't have to.
I mean, yeah, they didn't have to. I mean,
Stidham had like almost more yards than he did.
We can jump into Stidham now, because I said to you, I text you during the game, I said, I don't think they should put Stidham in there. Because if he goes out there and he throws a couple passes,
he looked good,
and you're like, wow, like that was a good throw, then you're going to start thinking to yourself, well, if we get in the playoffs, do I want a quarterback that can run or throw? I want a quarterback that can throw.
I mean, I think
because you have Harris that can run.
Yeah.
You have running backs that run.
And you still have Sonny Michel who's now your backup running back.
Yes.
I mean, that's a pretty
so for me,
that's a pretty good thing.
Cam Newton is able to run the offense and run the football with the RPO, and he was able to do that well. The problem is when you're limited, in that game, everything worked out perfectly. You score, you get up on top, you play from ahead. The Chargers looked like they didn't want to be there. They were just collecting a check and didn't want to play. So their special teams, the worst special teams unit I have ever seen paid.
That's bad.
And the crazy thing is, these guys get a check for that game. I would void all checks after a game like that. I would say, you know what, guys?
Yeah,
you didn't earn this one. I'm so sorry. Get a lawyer up, try and come back for that money because you don't deserve it. Show me why you deserve to get paid. Some of these guys are making millions to go out there and look terrible. I don't get it. So, and then the head coach, I just don't think that's going to be a good fit.
They stuck by him at the end of that game.
Herbert is a good quarterback. He's going to be good eventually. He's a rookie, and that's one thing too I want people to realize. A rookie, anytime a rookie would come into the building, I'd always look at him and be like, maybe in a couple of years he's got a shot.
Yeah, he's good now. I mean, he's the best quarterback of that draft class.
Oh, 100%.
Like
100%. He'll be just like his anticipation, the way he throws the football, his pocket presence, all that stuff. I think he's going to progress and learn and be better as long as he gets a good person to help him, mentor him, kind of push him in the right direction. You know who I think would be a great fit for a guy like that?
I know you're going to say Josh McDaniels.
Josh McDaniels would be great.
Josh McDaniels would be stupid to turn that job up if that came up.
1,000%. I think they're going to stay with Lynn. I think they'll stay with Lynn, but I don't know.
I think they're going to stay with Lynn, but I think next year they'll get rid of Lynn at that point. I think they're going to give him one more year.
If they don't take off or get in the playoffs again.
Look on paper. I mean, they're one of the more impressive teams on paper. Like if you just take a roster versus other rosters.
They need a special teams coach. They need somebody to help them out because they don't have a special teams.
They're good. They're definitely a good team. I mean, the beating the Patriots put on them. I get Cam Newton didn't throw for a lot of yards and all that, but Cam Newton reminds me of I'll go to a different sport into basketball. He's like the Marcus Smart of the Patriots, right? Marcus Smart,
like the tone, like the helping everyone out, like giving everyone the problem I have is I text you this too. He did the killer crossover layup to the camera, and then they called it back and they put it on the one, and then he scored. Then he did it again. It's almost like I needed to show you this because the first time it didn't count. I needed to do it again. And then, the Superman thing.
That's his thing, though.
I get it. But guess what? When he's throwing 3 picks or 2 picks and he's on the sideline and he's telling his coach he's sorry, I'm sorry, he's not doing this. Yeah. He's not doing any celebrating. He looks like somebody just took his puppy and stole it from him.
Yeah.
If I think back on any great quarterback, think back on Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Walter Payton, any great player, not just quarterback, any great player that is supposed to be at like a category of like Cam Newton, what people think Cam Newton is, when they do great things, they celebrate, yes, but then they just act like they've done it, and they act like I don't mind dancing, I don't mind the whole celebrating, but it's like after the game, and it's like
Doesn't Belichick love the celebrating thing though?
No, I don't think he does. I think a friend of mine celebrated, and they benched him for it because he said, "Well, yeah, great celebrating." It depends on when you do it. Like Winovich celebrating a sack that wasn't a sack.
No, it was a pressure.
It was a pressure.
And the play was still going.
And the play was still going. It was 3rd and 10. That is an issue.
It was almost like what was
he
next?
Got
like
up
he was
going to do this, and he did this, and I'm like...
He was going to do like a choreographed thriller dance.
Yes, and I said, in my head, I'm like... It's 3rd and 10. The guy's running. The guy's running and up and
not
still
far
running.
away from him either. Like, I mean, it was a couple yards away.
Yes.
I actually thought that Belichick was going to bench him after that.
I don't think
the play was still going on.
I don't think he saw that because you don't really.
He'll see it.
He saw it in film. I guarantee this week he shows that and
that's like up on this.
Yeah, 100%. Like, what are you? What is Jesus?
But I do think Cam's almost like a Marcus Smart, right? Like Marcus Smart could hit a big 3, but it takes him like 9 attempts to do it. Like he could have a game where he throws up like 12 bricks in a row, and then all of a sudden the game's on the line, and he makes that last 3. You know, and I think that's kind of like Cam. Like he's just the players like him, coaches like him.
Yeah, no, I mean, I also think that when you have a guy on your team, you can't say I don't like him. You can't say like, oh, I don't like this guy. Like I don't like him. Like that just doesn't. Have you ever seen anything where a team says I don't like a guy while he's on the team? It's usually after the fact. Like, yeah, well. I don't like this guy. I think everybody does like Cam because he seems like he's a likable guy. But just, like after the game and you're running around and you're doing your thing, like throwing up the W's, like, yeah, great. I'm so happy you got it. But you're 6-6.
Yeah.
It's not like you're 11-1 or 10-2 and you're like number 1 in the division and you're winning the division and you're in the playoffs.
I just think it's because it's not your guy Brady.
Well, Brady pouts too, but I don't see Brady running around like that ever. Have you ever seen Brady run around after a win and like in the camera or celebrating the camera? He does like the spike and celebrates with his teammates. He headbutts guys.
I think that's That's the thing with people like Cam because it's not Brady.
No, I wasn't a huge Cam fan when he was with Carolina.
Yeah, no.
Because when we used to play Carolina, Bill would say, let's make this guy throw from the pocket. He can't beat us. So when you would play a guy and say, if we keep him in the pocket, he's going to throw us a ball or he's going to lose the game. Keep him in the pocket.
Yeah.
Keep him in the pocket. RPOs.
He has no weapons, though. I
mean, yeah, you're okay.
You could go out there and play tight end for them, and it'd be a better option than what they have now.
They don't have a tight end. They do not have a tight end. But that's whose fault is that? That's their fault for not getting a tight end or having a tight end through the draft. Yada, yada, yada. You knew this was coming. Eventually, Rob was going to be gone. He retired. Okay. Yeah. Get a guy. I mean, that's why who's the tight end for the Chargers that Bill gave a hug to after the game?
Hunter Henry?
Hunter Henry.
It was like whispering in the ear.
Yeah, like,
pay you.
Like,
I'm going to pay you.
Like, hey.
Which I don't want Hunter Henry. I wouldn't want him here. He's hurt all the time.
Yeah, I don't either. I honestly don't even know who he is. Who is that guy?
I mean, he's got a ton of talent.
Yeah, but hey, talent only takes you so far.
Yeah, you have to stay on the field.
Ability is trumped by durability.
Yeah, 100%.
So
I agree.
Availability.
That's why
if you're available, availability beats ability.
You're just hoping that the 2 rookie tight ends can actually become something.
I don't know. In 2020.
The problem is that the virus.
Tight ends want to be they want to be receivers. They don't want to be tight ends. Nobody wants to be a tight end, a real tight end.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to block because you don't get paid.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hit anybody anymore. That's why when you watch these games, I'm like, oh, that was a flag for that? Come on, you know, roughing the passer. Get out of here. They're making it like so. Just it's like tag. You know.
Yeah, that's what it is. But I think it's probably time to take a break here.
Yeah, let's take a break. I'm going to pop this beer here.
And talk about a couple more things. I got something to talk about that we haven't really talked about yet on the show, this type of thing, but I think it'll be a pretty good topic.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
I don't know what that is. We'll see.
Winow's coming in for the sack. That's all the quarterback sees. All right, we're back, and we're going to go into a segment that I normally dominate, but lost last week.
You lost?
For the first time in a while.
Give him an L.
Yeah. You're like the New York Jets or the football team that beat the Steelers.
The Jets haven't won yet.
Yeah, they came close. They fired Greg Williams.
Yeah, scapegoat. How does Greg Williams get fired, but the head coach hasn't won anything, and you
never won anything for any team.
Overpay guys, cut them, stay there.
He may be the coach next year.
He's going to be the coach because why would you keep him this long if he's going to not be the coach?
Awful.
Dumpster fire. He must have some dirt on somebody, and I don't know.
It has to. All right, so we're going to go in. First game here is we'll put the Patriots game in the end. Texans-Bears.
Texans. Bears are bad.
Cowboys-Bengals.
Bengals. I don't like the Cowboys. I feel like the Cowboys are just blah.
I'm going to go Cowboys.
Going Cowboys?
Yeah. Chiefs-Dolphins.
I'm going Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chiefs.
I think they're gonna put in Fitzmagic, and I think that has like a little bit of upset written all over it. KC kind of hasn't been playing great. They kind of struggle.
Dolphins haven't really either, though.
I know, but maybe it'll motivate them a little bit.
The Dolphins scored 19 against the Bengals.
Yeah, but it was 19-7. So their defense is playing well.
Yeah, their defense is good.
Yeah,
I'm not a Tua bandwagon.
When you play, Kansas City, what do you need? You need defense.
Yeah, but it's a little different, the Kansas City offense versus the Bengals offense.
True.
I mean, it'd be one thing if Burrow is in that game, I think they may win that game against them.
We'll see. I'm going with Miami because I think Tua might not play in this game. I think they're going to go Fitzpatrick.
I think they're rolling on the Tua train.
They shouldn't.
Cardinals-Giants. It's a tough one.
I'm going Cardinals. on this. This would be their fourth straight loss in a row.
It's tough because we do this on Wednesday, so I don't know if Danny Dimes is going to play or not.
Is New York going to Arizona?
No.
Or is Arizona's going to New York?
Yeah, New Jersey.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm going Arizona. I might lose.
Yeah, I'm going to go Arizona. If I knew right now that Danny Dimes was playing, I may take the Giants, but I still think it's up in the air. Oh, boy. Do we have to even figure this one out for you? Vikings-Buccaneers.
Oh! Going TB12. Vikings.
It's TB squared, isn't it?
Yeah. It's TB squared 12, whatever you want to call it. But he sent me this.
What's he going to wear next year when he's not in the Buccaneers?
Look, they're paying him
TB Niners.
He got 2 years, $50 million. I don't know what Bruce Arians got, but he didn't get $50 million guaranteed.
They're not going to fire Arians.
And guess what? If who sells tickets, Arians or Tom Brady? Who sells tickets to fill a stadium up? And at the end of the day,
stadium are they filling up right now?
Next year.
The Buccaneers are actually a fairly decent organization. They're going to sell it regardless.
Any jersey sales, any merchandise.
So you're saying that Arians is going to be fired and Brady will be the coach.
I'm saying that Tom is going to be
he's going to be the Bill Russell, the player.
This is not football. At the end of the day, is a business of making money. They don't give a shit about their record right now. The owners of Tampa are just like, how many millions of dollars can we make off of Tom Brady's face in our stadium as our quarterback? They had 6,000 people in line the day they signed Tom Brady to buy season tickets.
Of course they would, though. But they would have had season tickets sold anyway.
Cash money.
No.
It's all about cash.
I think Brady's off the Buccaneers next year. But I will take the – God, the Vikings just stink.
No, the Vikings, terrible.
Yeah, Buccaneers. Broncos-Panthers.
Man, this is a tough one. This feels like a throw up. Like,
yeah,
I'm going to go Panthers. I'm going to go Panthers.
I'm going to go Panthers too. That's a pick 'em. Titans Jaguars.
I'm going to go Titans. Got to bounce back.
Yeah, Titans. Colts Raiders.
Ooh,
I'm tough one because the Raiders like they're Jekyll and Hyde.
This is a good one because somebody's going to lose and it'll help the Patriots out.
Either one. Everybody's so concerned with the Patriots, like the Raiders have to lose, the Ravens have to lose. The Patriots control their own destiny here because if the Dolphins lose to the Chiefs, which is a high probability, the Patriots play the Dolphins the next week. They control the tiebreaker, especially if they beat them. The Patriots have to win out, but
they have to beat the Rams.
Yeah, we'll get to that game. Who are you taking to the Colts Raiders?
Colts.
Nah, I'm going to go Colts, too. I don't trust anybody that wears mascara. Jets Seahawks. This is actually more of an interesting game right now.
Is it
It's in Seattle? Seattle's a 13.5-point favorite.
I'm going Seattle. How can I go Jets? They're winless.
If we were picking against the spread, I'd probably take the Jets. Yeah. But I'll take the Seahawks. Packers Lions.
Pack.
Yeah, Packers.
Go Pack, go.
Saints Eagles. Jalen Hurts is now the quarterback.
I'm going Saints. They're going to win.
Yeah, I'm going to go Saints, too. I think he'll be a little bit better than Wentz, but I will take the Saints. Falcons Chargers.
Does this game matter? This is like one of them games. It's like neither of these teams are going to be in the playoffs.
I just don't understand, though. It's Falcons Chargers, right? It's in LA again. The Chargers are underdogs by 2.5 points, but they were were favored against the Patriots.
Because they lost so bad and everyone saw that they sucked.
Yeah.
Man, this one doesn't matter. It's like a throw up, but I want to beat you, so I'm gonna go Chargers. Maybe
I'm gonna take the Chargers. I'm gonna take the Chargers on that one. Football team versus the Niners. In not even San Fran, Arizona.
Man, I'm going to go football team. I'm going football team.
I'm
going football team.
How do you have a team that doesn't have a name?
Just beat the Steelers.
49ers.
I'm going football team. Alex Smith got him playing.
This is a good game.
Rivera.
It's a good game here. Steelers Bills. Bills are favored by 2.5 in Buffalo.
Ooh, it's in Buffalo. Man.
The problem is, though, home field advantage doesn't really.
It doesn't
really.
Now, but unless it's snowy and cold and nasty.
Yeah, but the Steelers play in snowy, cold, nasty.
Not Buffalo snow nasty. Snow nasty.
Nobody will be in the parking lot going through tables.
I'm gonna go Steelers because you want the Buffalo to lose.
I'm gonna take the Steelers. I think they'll bounce back. I don't think the Bills are that good either. Another good game Monday night. Ravens Browns. Who do you hate more, Baker Mayfield or Cam Newton?
Baker, 100%.
That was pretty quick.
I see him every day on my TV.
Who'd you take?
Doing some stupid ass commercials for whatever it is he does.
Who'd you take in this game?
Insurance.
Ravens Browns in Cleveland.
I'm going Browns because the Ravens. The Ravens look like they don't have the firepower anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Browns also. All right, and then we get Thursday night, tomorrow night. And we're going to get this edited before the game, right? Because we have to have this pick in there. Patriots-Rams in L.A. They're playing the same stadium, right?
My gut tells me that it's going to be hard to win this game, but I think the Patriots will go into this with a game plan to run the ball, and they won't throw the ball until they have to. So they're going to run all over the Rams defense. The Rams are great at coverage, but I don't think they're great up front. They're more of like a fast, like small.
They're middle of the road against the run, and they're one of the best against the pass.
One of the best against pass. So I'm thinking they're going to run the ball.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Pats because why would I not go? Why would I go against the Pats at this point right now?
You have multiple times this year.
Yeah, but when I went against them because they were playing teams that I thought would beat them.
You said they weren't going to make the playoffs. They were a terrible team.
They're 6-6 right now.
Yeah.
They're on the outside looking in to make the playoffs.
But the thing is, if you win 4 in a row here, you're in a good spot.
they miss the playoffs.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
So if they lose one game, they miss the play. If they lose this game, they miss the playoffs. So I'm not going to do that.
Can you at least agree this is the toughest game they have of the next 4?
Yes.
This determines the season. This
determines the season. So if I'm going to go against this determining the season for the Patriots, Bill Belichick, I'm going with Bill. So I can't go against Bill on this one. So I'm going Patriots by 1 point.
I think there's going to be a turning point in their season when they're out on this trip with everybody, and they're with everybody every day.
I just hope that they don't go out there and like it just looks completely different than Sunday.
The thing I'm worried about is that when the Patriots defense got exposed real bad was against the 49ers, right? Like on all those outsides.
Quick stuff.
And the Rams can do that, but the defense has changed since that 49ers game.
I think McVay is a little bit different, and I would think that if you lose to the Super Bowl and McVay was kind of like starstruck by Bill before the game,
he's still going to be starstruck.
I would hope that he has learned a lesson, and I like his creativity better than what the Chargers can do. So I think
this
he's
Rams
going to be
offense
creative.
is worse than that Rams team they lost in the Super Bowl. That offense was better than this offense that they have.
Yeah, but Goff was not experienced. He looked like a child out there. He should be better than he was.
Quarterback.
He's overpaid and overrated. Of course he is.
Yeah.
So
Goff is Carson
Can they take
Wentz.
advantage of that? I mean, the Chargers' offensive line couldn't stop a nosebleed. So,
I don't think the Rams can either, though.
I don't think so either, because the same guy that's starting tackle for him, I made a turnstile out of. So he's still out there. When I played against that starts with an S, I don't know, Stressenberg or whatever his name is, I literally made him look like a foolish person out there, and he's still playing football. I don't get it.
Have you talked to your protege and explained to him how to get past this tackle?
I texted him after the game. I said, "Young grasshopper, don't celebrate until the sack is made.
Don't celebrate a quarterback hurry."
I said, "Don't celebrate unless you know it's a sack." And he's like, "I honestly didn't realize that he didn't have the ball anymore."
He didn't even take him down.
No, he hit him.
But he didn't go down.
I think he went down though. Like Chase went down.
Yeah.
And I think the quarterback got hit and threw it.
Yeah. That was
it's
terrible.
I mean, he had a good game. I said good game, young man.
I think that like
good
I said,
pick. I like the pick. It was good at that. He wasn't in coverage. It was like a revolve technique. So what happens is, for everyone, if you want to know a little bit about Patriot defense, when the ball goes away and you're not like the attack player on the backside, you revolve. You revolve back, and you want to see anything coming back. So when you revolve, that's step across the line of scrimmage, see the ball's away, like dash. You're never going to get to the quarterback chasing a dash, because usually it always goes to the front side. But if you take a step back and you look at anything coming back to you, you could potentially stop a throwback, anything coming back to you, because everything going that way, there's no chance of you stopping unless the guy stops, comes back, and then when you revolve, you go back, and then if you see the quarterback back trace or like a reverse, all you got to do is run straight up the field, and you just cut off that angle.
Yeah.
But then when you're revolving, you see receivers, you see over routes, you see things coming back. You saw the crosser, and I think you didn't even see the crosser. You're just looking at the quarterback. The quarterback, if you look at the quarterback, look front side, and then just literally stared backside, 1, 2, and then threw it, and Chase was able to just, boom, go make the play. So it's a good play. Great play. Good hands. Former tight end.
Who?
Chase.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Quarterback, too. It's so weird of a quarterback.
Everybody is in high school and everything.
Yeah, true.
I'm definitely going to take the Patriots. And I think this...
Have you not taken the Patriots?
No, I've taken them every week.
Well, you're obligated.
I've been damn close.
You're
though,
obligated.
Most weeks.
Your face is on the stadium.
Yeah, I know. I've been close most weeks. Definitely the Patriots. The great thing about the Chargers game is that if you're a real Patriots fan and you really like the team, you're starting to see what it'll be next year. They're rebuilding that young core.
They need a quarterback.
I think it's going to be Cam next year.
Cam, no, please, no.
But they're rebuilt.
When you watch the game, are you like, this is exciting? Or are you like, this is like watching paint dry? It's very. But the offense is like boring. You're like, oh God, throw the ball.
That's the problem, though, is you don't need an offense to be exciting. If you're really a fan of the game,
I'm a fan of defense, and I like to see offenses that are multiple, and you got to be technical, and you got to walk, and you got to move guys.
Can you really tell me that you're like, I like the fact that Patrick Mahomes goes like this and then throws it like that?
I like the fact that every time,
because as a defensive player, against Pat Mahomes, want him to do that.
As a defensive player, you're like, I don't want to play against Pat Mahomes.
But if he's doing no-look passes and crap like that, especially with the way Belichick sets up his defense, you want him doing that stuff because he's not going to see.
He's not looking, but he is looking. The guy's open and he's completing the pass. I'd rather quarterback that can make a no-look pass than a guy that can't make a looking pass.
But the thing is, if you take
he missed, how many passes did he miss in that game? He missed like
who? Mahomes?
Yeah, no, Cam.
Cam?
The over routes. He missed he had 3 wide open receivers. He missed them. Yeah, bad.
It was only like 6 or 7 incomplete passes.
They were all misses of wide open receivers. So
the person I actually want to see now, after watching, watching that drive,
you need to know what you have Stidham. You need to know what you got because next year
you might not need a quarterback.
No, that's what I'm saying. You might not have to pay anybody.
He could be the guy, right? I mean, he's got the prototypical arm of a NFL quarterback. He looked good in those. I mean, you had the one incomplete pass where he took Bosa on head on. But, I mean, he made the right decision, right? He threw the ball into open space. It was kind of close enough for the receiver to make a play on it.
They can't move on from Cam this year, but they will not pay Cam to be the quarterback for future years because Cam is 30-something.
32.
You can't 31. Say that he's going to be athletic in 2 years or more of a better – he's not going to be a better or more athletic runner in a year. He's just going to get worse and worse.
Cam's playing these 4 games for a contract. Because if he comes out and wins these games, the Patriots re-sign him.
I wouldn't. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
I want to see Stidham.
I want a quarterback that can throw the football. I want an accurate quarterback that can drop back when the game's on the line, throw the football down the field accurately, consistently, over and over and over again. You're not afraid. When Cam comes on the field, you're not afraid of him throwing the football. You're like, just don't let him run. Just don't let him scramble. Hit him hard. Make sure he feels it.
Yeah. No, I get that.
You're not afraid that he's going to throw the ball. Because if he throws the ball, you're like, we got a chance. If he throws the ball, we got a chance.
But see, the thing is, I'd rather see Stidham than like a Jimmy Garoppolo come back or stuff like that.
I would rather them figure out. We'll see. If they lose tomorrow, then they can figure out. Because if they lose tomorrow, I think they're out.
Yeah, I just don't see Bill putting Stidham in for some reason, though.
Why?
I thought he would have already if that's what it was.
Because I think Bill figured.
You started Brian Hoyer against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
You didn't pull him until the third quarter after he made blunder after blunder
after blunder. They're masterminds
of
understanding contracts. So maybe they were like, we don't need to pay him, or we're not going to put him out there because if we got to pay him.
Because you were excited like when you were signing the contract with Bill, like, oh, look, I got this big deal and all that. And he's sitting in the background going, gotcha.
When I signed mine for no money, I was like, well, at least I'm going to play a lot. Because if you don't sign it, you're not going to play. They're going to pull you.
But the thing with the Patriots, though, is I think that the one knock on them the last 5 years is the team's been older and it's now getting younger. They've got a good offensive line. They've got a good running back. Yeah, but they got to pay
guys. They got Tooney's gone.
It's just him.
No, David Andrews is an unrestricted free agent.
I thought he still had 1 year.
Nope, he's a free agent.
The problem is, I think David Andrews is you though. Like he's going to sign a
deal
so. That's.
I don't think so because he's a free agent. I never hit free agency.
I know, but he signed that low deal the
last
time.
Yeah, but that's because he was a free agent, like a literally undrafted free agent from college. They give you a $5,000 signing bonus. When they dangle $2 million in front of you, you're like, wow, I signed for $5,000.
I think he stays.
I think he'll go.
That kid.
He'll go to Miami.
I can't pronounce his name.
Anywhere he'll go to New York. Anywhere where there's a former Patriot coach, these guys are getting paid. These guys are getting paid, just like Jamie Collins. Trey Flowers got $90 million. He's got 2 sacks this year. $90 million. He's going to get paid. All these guys. But Joe Judge will pay him.
That's mostly, though, that
Vrabel will pay him.
No, but Bill knows that those guys are scheme guys. He knows that. So that's
but
why
then these other coaches,
he paid
Joe Judge, and Matt AP before he was fired.
I think they keep paying. I think that they.
I don't think.
I think they'll pony up and pay.
Why wouldn't they pay him now?
What do you mean?
Why wouldn't
they? Don't have the cap space right now.
No, surely they do. To pay him, they do.
I think he's just trying to push as much. See, I think Bill's being opportunistic right now.
He would like to be here.
I think he'll sign him. I don't think they'll sign Tooney.
I don't know. Well, he'd be too expensive.
But the new kid, Oldman. I never pronounce.
What they also like to do is they like to let you hit free agency, just like Hightower.
Yeah,
and they like to tell you like, oh, I don't know how much you're worth, and then you go to other teams and you say, well, this is what I'm signing for. Like Devin was gone. Devin McCourty was gone.
So was Hightower.
Hightower was going to Steelers. Devin was going to Eagles.
Yep.
Like they were both gone, and then the Patriots are like, oh, we'll match you.
Yeah,
we'll match. And then you think about, I got a house, I got all this, I'll stay.
But that's what's going to happen with Andrews, though.
Unless it's a certain price point like Trey or like Jamie Collins.
I don't know. Because I think they know that Andrews is more than just a scheme guy. Like he's an important piece of that line. I think they'll let Tooney walk just because they've got Omen. I never know how to pronounce his name. Omen Nuanao and then Heron. Yeah. I think that they've got them, so they know that they're good there. But I don't see them letting Andrews walk.
I hope not. I like David.
Because if you have Andrews there,
he is exactly what you want as a Patriot. That's what you want. Yeah. You want the guy with the vest on and the, hunter and the Matt Light type, turkey hunter, like nice. He's a really good guy.
I'll show you what a Patriot looks like, okay?
Oh, boy.
All right.
I am a Patriot. That is true.
Yeah. But
I talk to Steve Belichick all the time. Me and him talk a lot.
Yeah.
And we'll text back and forth. When Steve was first coming into the league in like 2010, I want to say after Rutgers, and he first got a job as like the assistant to an assistant, doing all those things for like P. Flo and Scotty O'Brien and Pat Graham. Like he was kind of like the runner and doing all the stuff that like the young guys do.
Yeah.
So we had a good time. We'd always have fun on the plane and talk and laugh. And me and him text often back and forth. And I mess with him now. I love to text him and just bust up on him because he's got...
Oh, like what's going on with the defense?
Yeah, like, and I text him, I'm like, can you please, like, pull up lowlights of this, and this? And he'll laugh, like, that's already happening, But Steve, he'll be a head coach one day.
Yeah. It depends where, though.
Maybe here.
Yeah, that's what I think too. I think
him and Brian. Brian will be
like
Brian
co-head
Brian Belichick's going to be like the GM, like he'll be like the top of the top running a team. I don't know if Brian will jump into the coaching thing. He might. I think he is now, but he seems more of like the cap, like numbers, GM, people, personnel.
Scott Pioli or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Something like that.
Who do you think? How much longer do you think Bill coaches for?
Well, guess what? I mean, he's still coaching right now. I think he's close to 70. So I think that he'll step away when he feels that his boys are good and like in a good place.
I think it's 5 years.
He'll be 73 in 5 years. I think he's 68 right now.
I think it's 5 more years.
I don't think there's anything like, as long as he feels good and feels healthy, I don't think he'll quit. So like if he's 73, like Pete Carroll, Carroll looks like he's freaking 68, 65,
Yeah, he's actually a lot older than Belichick.
Yeah, he's the oldest coach in the league, but he looks like he's got that like.
And he doesn't look like he's going anywhere either.
No, he's signed a 5-year extension, so that guy's going to be 80.
I think Belichick. I think he's realizing that he's got something to build off of now and build like one more run at it. One more, try to get 2 more Super Bowls, and then
I think that he would like to
then hand it over to the kids.
I don't think that Bill really would be happy with not being a coach. Like it'd be hard for him. Like he'd be, in November, December.
Imagine being his kid though, as your kid becomes the head coach of the New England Patriots. Like, what would you think? You text Steve Belichick a lot now? It'd just be nonstop, wouldn't it?
I mean, it'd be pretty difficult to be. It's just like Chris Long. One time I said to Chris, "Man, they gave me 50. It's really tough to fill the shoes of Rabel." And he said, "My dad's a Hall of Famer, Rob." I was like. Yeah, you win that one.
Yeah,
your dad is Howie Long, and you play D end, and everyone looks at you a certain way. Just like Bill and his kids, like it's unfair. I don't think it's fair at all because they're different people, but in different times. Like when Bill started coaching football, like the NFL was not what it is today. And then in 10 years, everybody will have flags on, so it won't even be the same, and nobody will be hitting each other, and they won't have helmets, and they'll just be tag. I want $20 million.
You think that Matty P comes back to the Patriots?
I don't know. I talked to Matty too. I texted him after he was released and just said, I appreciated the time and all the things he had done for me in my career. I said, you're a hell of a coach, and he appreciated that. I think that right now when he, for 3 years, I guarantee he didn't see any of his family. He didn't see his kids.
Yeah.
Like the guy sleeps on the floor. Like he puts so much time and effort into it. So nobody really realizes that the behind the scenes stuff. So he said, I'm just going to spend time with the kids and spend time with the family. I said, man, you deserve it. So he'll have another chance. Maybe he comes here, but now that other guys or other places, like he could go to New York.
Yeah,
he is from New York.
I see, like maybe.
Like he can go to the Giants. He could go to Miami.
Yeah.
He could do a lot of different things.
His path's kind of blocked in New England anyway.
Well, I think once you like have been the DC somewhere, unlike Josh McDaniels, like he was, and he went to be a head coach, and he went somewhere else, and he came back. But the person that was there left. So, I mean, I don't see Steve leaving to go anywhere else, unless and I don't see Matty coming back to be the DC here, and then Steve.
He'd be like a special assistant.
Yeah, but I just don't see it. I mean, I would think that he would go somewhere else where he knows, because coaching is like a small little community of circles. Once you're in that circle, just like any coach that's with like the same coaching staff, they get fired, or they go somewhere else and they bring the same guy in, and they bring the same people in. It brings, in New York, they brought in Gooch, the offensive line coach, Guglielmo, because
that was a disaster here.
But that's because he knows Joe Judge, and Joe Judge knows him, and Colombo, the O-line coach that was there, fought Joe Judge, like physical altercations. So.
Is that like confirmed?
Yeah.
No.
I think he's got some head trauma issues, maybe.
Who?
Colombo.
Oh.
Palumbo, whatever his name is. Hothead.
I thought you were saying Judge does.
No, Judge. I don't think Judge ever hit anybody. He's a quarterback.
Just freak out a little bit.
Just freak out.
All right, so I think that's a good place to stop here, and then go into one more segment about maybe some coronavirus restrictions.
Well, I love it. Yeah, let's do it. Crush the
right.
economy.
All right, we'll be back soon.
All right.
All right, so we're back. Dan and Ninko Show, episode 12. We're going to talk about something that Rob and I talked about even before we started the show that we weren't going to really dive into, but I'm just at the point.
Just do a little bit.
I got to talk a little bit about politics here. I got to talk about.
We did pretty good so far.
Yeah, Backup Baker. That 5 days ago sat there in the state of Massachusetts and said, we're not going to shut anything down. We're going to continue going and everything. And then yesterday announced basically the death blow to restaurants that 40% capacity.
Listen. I understand they're trying to do things to help prevent the spread of a virus. I understand it.
Yeah.
But what does having the mask on, you have to keep it on now.
Yeah.
Except for when you eat or drink.
And you're already 6 feet away.
You're 6 feet away.
Like what?
6 people in a group.
Yeah.
What if 6 people to a table. When you eat and drink, you can remove the mask. When you do not eat or drink, put the mask back on. With
your family.
With your family, the people that you live with.
In a house with.
It's just like these restaurants. I feel so bad for anybody that owns a restaurant that they put their life into, and you feel like things are getting a little better, and then they're just like, we're back to one.
Yank. The other thing too is that people go out there and say, well, they can do takeout and all that stuff. Well, let's give you a little lesson on like takeout and stuff like that.
I hate takeout.
But anyway, takeout itself, if you use like DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, all that stuff, just so we are all aware, they literally suck almost all the profit out of takeout food because they charge these restaurants a huge fee to do it.
Yeah.
It's a big percentage of it. I don't know if anybody realizes.
I just don't like takeout because it's not like. First of all, I'm an anti-plastic guy, like hot plastic guy. Like I'll drink out of a plastic bottle, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm talking like
you get your food in a container.
No, you do my stir fry, right? And it's boiling hot, and you throw it in a plastic container, and that thing like melts and then goes back, and then you put the top on it, and you're like, yeah, here's some plastic residue. Eat some of that heated plastic.
Yeah.
I don't like that, and I have like this. When I call, people think I'm nuts, but I say, look. Can you take anything that's coming out of the oven or something hot off the grill, put it in tin foil for me, and then put it in the plastic container? Some people they just don't get it. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, just take the hot food and put it in foil, and then put it in the plastic.
Yeah, but you're also going to a lot of places that aren't used to doing takeout, right? Like they sit down restaurants that and
I had one place do everything in foil except for the hot stuff.
Like you got like a roll in foil.
No, they did the rice in foil. They did the mac and cheese, like nice hot mac and cheese. They left the meat, just put it in there. I'm like, Why wouldn't you just do everything? I said everything, but I ate it anyway. It's whatever. But anyway, plastic's not good for you. Heated plastic.
Yeah, but it is the death blow for restaurants, I think, at this point, because they're all been struggling. I mean, anybody that's owned a business, you don't open up a business and go, hey, my model is going to be, I'm only going to be at 40% capacity.
Well, because I was talking to a friend of mine who owns a meat distribution company, and he was saying that when we would have a big snow, like a blizzard, and you shut down for a day or two max, he said it crushes them because a lot of restaurants, like when they go and they buy, because a lot of these like restaurants, they buy things from a distributor, and they have to plan like, this is how much we get because we have X, Y, and Z amount of customers. We have to keep it fresh. So you have fresh produce. You can't just go and get fresh stuff like, the day of, and be like, I'm going to cook 40% of my max. Well, how many people are we going to have for 40% occupancy? And I'm going to expect to make a profit here. So think about, even when this whole thing started, the amount of food that was just thrown away.
Yeah, in the first few weeks
out of your fresh produce, like just this is going bad. I can't make this. So for you to try and figure out, how do I buy stuff to where it doesn't go bad, so I can use it, but then make a profit, because all the stuff you buy that you don't use, you lose money on.
Yeah, it's spoilage. You got to figure. You got to figure it. Just so everybody's aware, if you buy an $8 chicken parm sandwich, the business doesn't make $8. It probably makes like $1. When it all comes said and done and everything. Once you figure rent and all that stuff, because just don't forget, like, the rent of the restaurant still is paid. But then you also have people like servers that make like $2 an hour, $3 an hour, and they live off tips. Well, guess what? If they have 40% capacity, and just remember, 40% capacity doesn't mean you have 40% of the people in the restaurant. That's just your max.
Yeah.
So you could be at 20% capacity that night. You don't make any money and all that. It's just tough, because I hate politicians to begin with, like Democrats, Republicans, everybody, because nobody ever really tells you the truth, and he sat there like 5 days ago and was like, listen, we're not going to shut down. There's no need for it. We're doing fine. The numbers are going the right direction, blah, 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 blah. And the minute he faced pressure from either,
somebody put the pressure
mayors of cities and all that, then he just caves. And then how do you plan for it? Like, they gave people 24 hours notice. He announced it yesterday, and it goes into effect today. Like, you're right with, like, the food. Like, these restaurants ordered as if they had 100% capacity, and today they're told 40% capacity. So 60%, if they're lucky, 60% of the stuff they bought is gone.
Yeah,
how do you survive at that and keep doing that?
It's pretty. And then, like, theaters closed.
Oh, theaters are gone. Theaters
closed.
will never come back.
So, like, done.
I don't know, so Warner Brothers or whatever is releasing all their stuff on HBO Max. So theaters are done. There's just a lot of businesses that'll never come back.
That'll never come back.
Restaurants, and you got some big time restaurants in Boston that will never ever.
It's sad. It's sad because you think about the time and effort you put into a business and what you're doing. It's like it is your livelihood. It's what you do to put food on your table for your family. So these people that have bank loans, and I worked with a bank recently for the last few years, and speaking with the bank, they're like, look, we have cut like interest rates to zero because we want these companies to still be there. So you cut the interest rate to nothing. We're not making any money, but we're hoping that they can stay afloat past this pandemic to where we eventually get our money back. Because banks don't want to foreclose on anybody. They don't want to own property or buildings. Like, they want to just get their money. They want to lend the money out. They want to see the business work. They want to get their money back with interest, and that's how they make money. So banks are struggling too, because with low interest rates, they're not making the money.
No.
They're not making what they used to.
No, you still have to give people interest to put money in their bank to then go lend out.
Exactly.
Your margin compresses and compresses and compresses.
So, it's going to be interesting. I know the vaccine, everyone's talking about the vaccine. I'm not going to be standing in line for a vaccine. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I'll wait. You go get it. We'll see how you do. See how everything goes.
I don't get the flu vaccine really or anything.
I just wash my hands and I stay safe. So, the vaccine thing scares me because it was a push thing. It was rushed quickly to try and get it done. I get it. We need it. But I'm not going to be the one first to, hey, give me a shot. I have pre-existing issues. So you give me the vaccine. What if it turns my brain into goo, more goo than it already is? Like,
you already can't get health insurance, right?
I don't want a freaking soup bowl for a brain, So
No, it's
we'll
just,
see. I know that they had some issues with neurological problems with the trial and the phases. So it's like I already have enough neurological issues. I don't need any more. So
not getting another one.
I'm not getting another one.
The crazy thing too with the virus is it's created some jobs in the cities.
Yeah.
They have what I call the coronavirus police, which they literally every city has hired people to go inspect businesses to see if they're doing protocols and all that, and they literally give these people a badge. I mean, these are people that were maybe stocking shelves at a grocery store or stuff like that, and you give them a badge, and they walk into places, and they think they own everything. They make rules up. They come up. That's the other thing too is that the rules are ever changing. We had one thing where somebody came into one of our dealerships, and I won't say the city, for fear of repercussions or stuff like that. But, come in the city and they're like, hey, you don't have the right checklist posted on your wall. I'm like, what are you talking about? We don't have the right checklist posted on the wall. It's this thing we got. And the guy screams ignorance is not an excuse. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
What is wrong with you?
And they're like, well, there's a new checklist right now. And it literally just has other businesses on there. You have to check off, do you clean your dressing rooms? Check, is your fryer in the kitchen?
We don't fry food here. We sell cars.
So they hand you a citation. It's a $3,000 fine. You're like, here you go, because you didn't have your checklist up. And it's like, what the hell are you talking about? What planet are we on right now? No. That this is the stuff.
I want 2020 to be over, but everyone keeps saying 2020 once it's over. 2021, early parts of 2021 are going to have the same issues. We're only a couple weeks away, everybody. 2021 is 3 weeks away. So unless everything's going to disappear in 3 weeks, which I don't think, 2021 is going to suck too.
I don't know if you saw it, that there's people saying that you're going to have to wear a mask until the end of 2022.
End of 2022, yeah.
Which, I think that's a little bit far.
Hold on, stay on there. Where'd you get this? The bottom of the chair? When was this chair made? I don't even know. 94? Maybe?
Calm down now, though.
Or 1973. I don't know. It says 1973 on there. Maybe that's
probably it's a vintage.
It's a vintage.
Vintage is more money.
Vintage, yes.
But I just don't like the fact that that people talk out two sides of the mouth. Hey, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, and then just change it up. Especially to business owners and stuff like that. Small business owners. People that have, they've got a pizza restaurant or something like that they've had in their family for 50 years.
I think pizza would probably do better than a sit-down restaurant, though. At least,
yeah,
because we still order pizza. We still go and we try to order out as much as possible. But me and Paige, my wife, haven't been to Capitol Grill. We haven't been to Grill 23. We haven't been to Davio's, really. We haven't been to Del Frisco's. We used to love to go on a date night and go downtown and go to those places, but we haven't been. We haven't done it. So, those are the places that are hurt the most, because you used to walk into Del Frisco's. It was loaded with people on a Saturday night, and they're selling. Each table's $350 to $500, easy. Yeah. You get a bottle of wine and 2 steaks. That's $300. So
then a $50, $60 tip for the server and stuff like that.
So I just feel for all the people that they're in that industry, bars included. It really stinks. And now with the cold weather, you don't have the outside seating. I saw an article about they're going to restrict the way the outside seating is, because if you look, they're starting to literally put indoor seating. So they're doing an outdoor seating area with plastic walls and an overhang with heaters.
It's freaking 10 degrees out.
I know.
That's the thing. If you look at it too, a lot of the spread's not even coming from restaurants. It's coming from household gatherings and stuff like that, which if you shut down the restaurants, you're only promoting more of that, because people just want to have contact with other people and all that stuff.
It's I don't know. It's crazy to think that if you had a crystal ball and you were to see every other place right now at this point, I know there's been a resurgence, but you look at the total number of cases in China versus here, it's it originated there. They don't even have 1 million cases. We have what?
Yeah, but I don't think they report everything though too.
You disappear. You disappear if you reported anything. So
you tested positive for the virus?
Oh,
okay. Just go in this van over
here. See you later. Yeah.
No, but they don't report everything.
Yeah, looting in China, they mark you with blue ink, and then you disappear.
I think right now too, to get a coronavirus test in the state of Massachusetts right now, I think it takes like 2 to 3 days to get an appointment because so many people are getting tested.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because they can't just the test takes like a few minutes to do.
They
scrape your brain, move it around and everything, and then go. But so many people are getting tested, that's like the one thing is I see a lot, like schools getting tested and positive and all that, but like kids don't have any symptoms, so like why are you getting tested? Like that's the one thing I look at. Like, I
don't want it. I don't want it.
Yeah.
Stay away. I stay away from people. I don't like
6 feet
people.
away.
People stink. I don't like people.
According
people
to Charlie
suck.
Baker, we maybe should have a mask on.
Yeah, we should.
And then when you talk, you should put it down and then
the shield. We should have the shield.
Yeah.
Fogging.
Which that makes no sense to me either. Like a shield that has.
I don't know.
Go under and all
I don't
that.
know. Nothing makes sense to me anymore. But
yeah, I just had to get like my 2 cents out on that one. It's definitely a tough thing. But to get back to a lighter note, obviously tomorrow is a big day in New England with the Patriots-Rams game.
It is. So everyone's going to be pumped up. I think the Patriots can get it done.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can. Well, so this week we were planning on going to the zoo. It didn't work out. My boy Roland wasn't around. He wasn't available. So next week we're going to plan to do that. So yeah, I think that's a
brewery too, though, or something like that.
We're going to go. I think we can go to Castle Island. I'll call up the owner. I know him.
Yeah.
We'll go up there. He'll let us sit down and.
So I got this question for you. Do you think this, if the Patriots go 10-6, is that Belichick's best performance ever?
Yes.
Like, does it solidify in your mind?
Well, he's already solidified as the best. But
does that solidify your argument of Brady versus Belichick?
There is no Brady Belichick. There's no Brady Belichick. I hate that. I mean, we know that Bill is a great coach. We know Bill's a great coach. Yeah. If you give me a Bill shirt, Bill, send me a hoodie with a cutoff sleeve with your face on it. Like,
would you wear it?
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah, I would. I'd wear it.
You get the Belichick line?
Yeah, man.
Of clothes?
We suck.
Be gym shorts.
I mean, look, let's not make this a big deal here. It's just, we signed a guy. We'll see what happens. I mean, let's not make a big deal out of this thing. They're 6-6. Let's see what happens in the next fourth quarter of the season. If they can win out, then we'll get excited. Then we'll pop. We'll bring champagne. We'll pop. We'll spray it. We'll have a great time. We'll ruin the cameras. We'll do all that stuff. We'll have fun.
Yeah. How big do you think the celebration would be in that locker room, though, with like Cam Newton in there?
Oh, it'll be big. And Bill will walk in and be like, I mean, what are we doing? We haven't done anything yet.
Yeah. But it would be big, though, wouldn't it, with Cam and Winovich?
I mean, they like to celebrate. They like to. That's the millennials. Even though Cam's not a millennial, but
did you see that stat too on Devin McCourty, who had on the show a couple weeks ago? Did you see how fast he went during that touchdown run on the
22 or something?
Yeah, like 21.9
miles
per hour.
He's fast.
I mean, he looked like everybody was in slow motion.
I should race him.
Oh, you want to race him?
Yeah, 5-yard head start, 40.
Do you think you could win it?
I think so. I'm pretty fast. I still got it.
I don't know.
I still got the speed. I used to run 21.2. That was my fastest ever.
So what are you doing? 40-yard dash?
Yeah, 40.
And you get a 5-yard head start.
Yeah, I'll beat him. Easy. 35 yards to his 40, I got it.
I don't know about that. Yeah, he's fast.
Let's ask him.
Who's faster, Jason or Devin?
They're the same. They're the same genetics.
They cross the finish line.
They're the same exact thing. Like you can't. They're the same. They're a carbon copy of each other. They just split, and then they're two people.
Like they pass the finish line, they come back.
They
together.
do the same. Their foot hits the same. They run the
together.
same. They yell the same. They breathe the same. They're all the same.
So if it was you versus Devin versus Jason, and you had a 5-yard head start, you beat them both.
Yes. Yep.
I don't know if you would.
Let's get him on the.
I think we may have to do that.
Let's get him on the telly.
I think you may.
Let's call him up. Let's do it.
That would actually be a good one. I think.
It'd be a good one.
Like get on the field and everything. And
I'd start training right now if I knew it was real.
Wait, you'd have to train for it?
No, just sprinting. I haven't sprinted in a long time, but you have to train to sprint. These guys sprint all the time.
But you have to wager something on it though.
Yeah, we'll do something. But these guys got way more money than me, so I don't know. We'll figure it out.
That.
What?
I don't know about that.
They made $150 million or something like
between the two of them.
Yeah,
they split their money too.
Well, they should.
Just one pool.
Just one pool. Well, they started their own fund. Like they have their own fund, but it's not for guys like us.
What do you mean?
It's like it's a certain fund with like Devin and Malcolm Jenkins and some of the guys, the Coalition Fund or something.
I thought that was through the NFL though.
No,
it's theirs.
It's like their own fund. Cool. I asked them if I get it, and they're like, "You can't."
You really?
I don't qualify.
You really ask if you can get
I
something
said,
from
"Yo, can I get in some of that? Can I get some money into that?" They said, "No, it's not. You don't fit." I said, "Okay, thanks. Thanks. You're excluding me. You hurt my feelings."
Did you really try?
No, I was joking. Obviously, I was joking, but I asked just to be funny because that's the way I am. So I said, "Hey, can I invest a little bit?" They said, "No, you can't."
You're in an upper echelon level already, though. So
I don't know about that.
I mean,
well, I should have been double. I should have made double, but it's okay.
I'm not sure the difference between what you made and what like somebody like makes $100 million or something like that.
Oh, well, I can't PJ across the country. That's for damn sure. I got a quote for 30 G's to go to New Orleans and back. I said, "Nah, I'm good."
Oh, you looked at it?
I looked at it and then I just quickly denied.
30 grand each way, or 30 grand?
It was 14.9 one way.
I guess that's not that bad though. How many people were you putting in the plane?
One.
What do you mean one?
Like to get Paige's mom to me and back.
Oh, it was just one person in the plane? Oh, I thought you were talking about like maybe taking the whole family.
No, it was just to get Paige's mom here and back home.
Wow.
14.9. I said.
Southwest is probably like $250.
Yeah, it is, but we're afraid to get her on, because she's older, has existing issues.
Yeah, but I think they say that like planes are like one of the safest places to be on because the air recirculates and cleans so many times.
Still a chance, and you don't want to take the chance because if you take the chance, then you're the
we have the in-laws.
You're the person that's
my in-laws are flying in I think on Friday.
Yeah, see, I would like for her to come here because my wife is sad that she hasn't seen her family in a year plus. But
that's right, because you've never been able to really do anything.
Nope.
You've only had like the one trip, right, in a year?
That's it.
One cross-country drive.
One cross-country drive. We were there for 2 months to see my folks. So it's.
Were you only supposed to be like a week?
Yeah, a week. Yeah, that's how I bought a car there. I sent it here. I wasn't here for a month. It was just sitting in the garage.
I had it for like a month.
Yeah, you should see it though. Ceramic coated, looks insane.
You're never going to drive it.
I should sell it though.
Yeah.
Who wants 2004 Z06, 11,000 miles? Looks like brand new.
Yeah. So I mean, when you go out to look at your cars,
27.5.
We go out and look at the cars in a day, and you're like, I'm going to drive a sports car today. And you look at the Corvette, and you look at the Hellcat. What do you pick?
I go Hellcat, but the Corvette's nice now. No shimmy, nothing. I put the stock rims back on it.
Yeah, and we got another car coming. We got 2020 Urus coming in.
Urus, I want to check it out. Did you get anything new? You have anything new down there? Where's the gold one at? Is it gone?
No, it's still
gold Mustang, Methuen.
Yeah,
I don't know if I need another old school.
It's a nice car.
I know.
Clean.
Clean. And I like clean.
You could buy a Urus.
I don't have the money for that.
Yeah, you do.
I don't like Urus. The Urus is like you need a brake. It's like 15 G's for brakes. Like I can't do it. I can't do that. I like. If I was gonna get a fast SUV, I'd get a freaking Trackhawk. That's what I would get.
Still big money for the brakes though.
Yeah, but it's a Trackhawk, so it's not $250. It's $100.
Yeah,
it's $150,000 less. Same performance.
I finally placed the final order for my TRX that's coming in.
I want a TRX. Give me the TRX. Give me the TRX. I want that or the electric Hummer. The TRX, I like that. I like it a lot. I got
a gray one coming in.
Ooh, I like gray too.
I know.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. You drive it, then I'll drive it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll drive it for a little bit and see what I like, and then sell it for whatever.
Yeah, more money.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right. Well, I think that's a wrap on this one.
Yep.
I'm going to... Oh, that tastes like plastic. That tastes funny. I'm not drinking that.
Came from Kilimanjaro.
What's the date on this? Is that 302? Oh, 22. That tastes funny, man.
Yeah, it don't expire till March 2nd, 2022.
All right.
That's when the mask order comes
That don't
off.
Taste right. Where's this from? Purified water for reverse osmosis.
I think restaurants will be allowed to open in Massachusetts.
Municipal source. Methuen?
Is that really where it is?
No, I don't know. Crossroads Beverage Group. This ain't good. Don't drink that.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's
good
bad.
stuff. All right, we'll check in next week for episode 13. Follow us on
lucky number.
YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everything. And we'll see you guys next week.
See ya. Have a good week.